forget you. Any mom, any sister, any job, any broke down car, and the things you call art. Forget you. Any friends that I'll never see again. Everybody but your dog, you can all get lost. I swear I meant to mean the best when it ended. Even tried to bite my tongue when you started. Now you're texting all my friends, asking questions. They never even liked you in the first place. Dated a girl that I hate for the attention. She only made it 2 days, what a connection. It's like you'd do anything for my affection. You're going all about it in the worst ways. I was into you, but I'm over it now. And I was trying to be nice, but nothing's getting through. So let me spell it out. A, B, C, D, E, forget you. And your mom, and your sister, and your job, and your broke down car, and the things you call art. Forget you. And your friends that I'll never see again. Everybody but your dog, you can all get lost. Na 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 na. A, B, C, D, E, forget you. Said you just needed space, and so I gave it. When I had nothing to say, you couldn't take it. Told everyone I'm a, still I became it. Always had to put yourself above me. I was into you, but I'm over it now. And I was trying to be nice, but nothing's getting through. So let me spell it out. A, B, C, D, E, forget you. And your mom, and your sister, and your job, and your Craigslist couch, and the way your voice sounds. Forget you. And your friends that I'll never see again. Everybody but your dog, you can all get lost. Na 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 na. A, B, C, D, E, forget you. Na 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 na. A, B, C, D, E, forget you. And your mom, and your sister, and your job, and your broke down car, and the things you call I forget you. And your friends that I'll never see again. Everybody but your dog, you can all get lost.
Oh, that's a good one. You guys, it is 8 o'clock on the dot. Welcome back. Thanks for being here. We're going to have a guest join us here in just a second. And we're going to continue to have people that want to have a voice, that want to be able to speak, people that have been relevant to the situation, and people that just want to have a voice. And so if you're somebody out there that wants to have a voice, send me a message. You can do it through TikTok if we're friends and you've got my number. Go ahead and send that, for Snapchat, or you could email me at contact.jen.luby@gmail.com. But I appreciate everybody being in here tonight. But before I go out and grab our guests, there's a couple things that I want to say. Obviously, I want to say thank you. Had a ton of people last night that reached out afterwards and still shared their stories, related and unrelated. And I appreciate people being able to speak. And then a couple of things that I want to clear up here right away. So, throughout the day, I get messages and Uncle Louie, and I want you guys to all know things. People have good things to say. 99.9% of people think you have really incredible things to say, and they're glad that I now have a voice. And there's people that don't have good things to say, and that's all right. That's okay. That's what this platform's for. Nobody has to agree. But one thing I do want to clear up, some people have said, oh, this is slander, this is defamation. No. It is when it's false statements made about somebody in an attempt to ruin their reputation. We talk about First Amendment rights, things like that. No, that's slander, defamation is when they are false statements. These are facts. These are the truth. And I will always present the receipts. So I want to make that clear. And then I also want people to recognize self-pity there too. And over the past 118 days now life just came at me. And you guys know all the details. And every day I got up. Every day I had to count on myself, number one. My family counted on me. My coworkers, my friends, and I got up every single day. Not a moment did I sit there and say I'm the victim. So just wanted to get all that out there. But what I want to do is I want to invite our guest in. So let's see if I can find that guest. Guest, are you out there? Okay. So this is somebody that has been a part of the situation for quite some time. And I want to ask him questions. I got things to say. And I'm sure he does too. So let's get him in here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Good. All right, we're good. Sorry.
I can hear you. It's really quiet, but I can hear you.
Is it really quiet?
Oh, no, that's better. It's better.
Okay. I had the Bluetooth on. I apologize. It's off now. How's everybody doing?
How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How are you? Are you doing good?
I'm good. I'm here.
I know we talk on the phone and have, a few times about all of this. So, and some of the conversations are just between us, but
Yep.
if you have any questions, you can ask. And I obviously had a personal experience with, we'll just say Hockey Golf Dad. We're just going to keep saying it that way. And I'm more than willing to share just facts. Nope. I'm not going to talk about what my opinions are. I think they'll shine through the facts that I share. And yeah, anything you want to know about anything that went on between the two of us, or his side or my side, or whatever whatever you want.
Well, first, thank you. I appreciate you more than you know. And I just want to say thank you, first of all. But I think it might be good, let's go back to the beginning, like when we all became friends, and kind of talk about kind of the friendship and what it was like between you and Hockey Golf Dad, you and me and Hockey Golf Dad, and then we can kind of get into kind of where we're at today.
Well, it started out, so I'm on TikTok, but I've also kind of been boisterously like the anti-TikToker. I told Hockey Golf Dad that, and you, I love to share my music on here, and it has been a great help financially to my music career. There was a show that myself and some other artists were going to put together in Nashville. I had talked to you and Hockey Golf Dad a few times, and I don't want to bring up sore subjects, but I know that you guys did a video, and I think one of my songs was in it, and we had just slowly become friends. That that was the starting point, and then we talked on the phone several times, myself, you, and him, about the Cheer Choice Awards, which I don't want to get super into, but that was an issue, and I had a place where I stood as far as that went, and he agreed, which was easy to build a foundation that kind of seemed like a friendship, because we had for lack there of a better word, we had a mutual enemy at that time. You know what I mean? So yeah, we became friends. You and the three of us. I mean, I don't even know how many times, but a bunch of times we talked on the phone. The three of us just talking about life and TikTok and the Nashville trip and Cheer Choice Awards and all sorts of stuff. And we were and it was cordial. It was friendly. I did not know what to expect moving forward from that. There was a point then moving forward where I asked him to MC a concert that I performed in Nashville. And this is where look, music is my business. My business is also to fill the seats. And Hockey Golf Dad had a big following. I'm not afraid to say that. Of course, I'm going to hire a guy with a big following or ask a guy who's a friend with a big following. It's gone both ways. Hey, you want to come MC this thing? And you tell everybody you know too, and you come and we have you on stage and it's good for everybody, you know? So that was the plan. And then we all ended up in Nashville, and the rest was, if you want me to slow down or say if I missed anything.
Yeah, let me back it up just a second, because I want to say, because I was there, I was a part of it, I was a part of these conversations. We talked regularly. I mean, there was Christmas. I'm calling Anthony Nix, where there were times where you were ill, and we would talk, and so there certainly was a friendship. And then when we go back to like the awards, and I don't want to get into that, but I want people to recognize that the convenience of being your friend from Hockey Golf Dad plays a part in this as well. So just to kind of put that out there. But yeah, if you go to Let's Talk Nashville.
Let's talk Nashville, but also I want to preface, because I know how this insane app works, and I know that everybody's screen recording, and I know how everything goes. I am far from perfect. I am not a person who has the right to or will cast stones or judgment. I'm literally here to just tell what happened, factually what happened. I usually, and not usually, I'm an advocate for men's health and men who go through hard times. I believe that people can change. However, this is a very different situation. This is a current situation. This is not somebody who had something in their past and we're talking about it 5 years later. This is something that's happening today, right now. And this is a woman who is the victim of something that could go horribly wrong if it's not stopped. And that is the facts. And I know more about these situations than I ever would have liked to know in life, because I am imperfect and I've been the bad guy, and everybody knows that already. I talk about it all the time. So I just want to preface this with that. This is not just an attack just because I don't like somebody. This is the right thing to do. So
there's times where you and I didn't get along.
100%.
There are times where we did not agree, where we had people in our lives that I'm just going to say, you and I did not agree on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the truth out there. There's times where I did not like Anthony. I was mad at Anthony. I was pissed off.
There's times that on the phone you were like, "Hey, chill out." Like, even in the end, you were like, I'm tired of both of your bullshit. Chill out. Like you're just, it got crazy. And I think, unfortunately, you weren't in Nashville.
No,
and I think that was from the outside looking in. I honestly have still, until this minute, not actually told the story. Mm-hmm. I've never talked about it. I've mentioned it when he's attacked me and I've defended myself, but I've never just came on and been like, look, this is what happened. Mm-hmm. We got there, and I don't care what people do. I don't care how much they drink. I don't care if they like drugs. That has nothing to do with anything for me. I have a lot of friends who are addicts. I can tell you that Hockey Golf Dad is a drug addict. I can tell you that he is an alcoholic, and I hope he gets the help he needs. And there are people in the chat who are there in person. There are people in the chat who he asked to drive them around until he could find drugs, who were there with us in Nashville. There was a night where him and I had a disagreement about something that one of his mods said. I knew something that he was being lied to about. And I told him, I said, your mod, it was a stupid argument about TikTok. It should have never gotten as heated as it did. He ended up calling that mod, and I'm not going to bring the other names involved. He ended up calling that mod on the phone. They got into it. They're screaming at each other on the phone. He is veins popping out of his neck, face red, screaming every cuss word in the book. Just tell me, blah, blah, blah. Just this violent rage of a human being at this point. And I'm just like, dude, you need to calm down. And this is what's going on. You're not listening. I was trying to get a point across. We end up screaming at each other. Mine was more to like, hey, dude, shut up. Like you've lost your mind and you're wrong about this. You're wrong. And people are lying to you and you're moving forward based on information that is not true. Anyways, the argument escalates. And I don't know if she wants me to say her name. She's in the chat. One of the women who was at the house with us. She is not just my mod, but also very close with my family. I know her on a very personal level. We know each other's kids. She's family. Like literally, I trust her with everything. Little her in person. And she's just sitting there.
Why do you think that is?
Well, she's a woman. He didn't get in my face, not once. He didn't have the balls to get in my face. So he turned instead of when he was standing in front of me and screamed at a 5'2" woman and told her to shut her fucking mouth because she was a nobody. This is not an opinion. This happened in real life. This was real life. This is how he treated a woman who didn't do anything wrong to him at all. So I can't even imagine how he treated anybody who actually did something that made him mad. She literally just didn't want this to go on anymore. It was crazy. I chirped up and I told him, if you ever do something like that again, I'm probably going to go to jail because I'm going to make sure you never do it again. And that's just the way that went. And I don't want to get into details as far as what the words I used, but I didn't allow it to happen. So now him and I are mad at each other. And now we're not talking to each other. Then he calls you on the phone. And he's trying to get you to feel bad for him. But you're not there. And we can all hear you, the entire room, all of us. There are a lot of us standing around. We can hear you on the phone. And you're telling him, I wasn't there. I'm not there. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Why don't you just leave? I think you told him like 3 times, like, why don't you just go leave? Remove yourself from the situation. But he didn't want to do that because he wanted everybody to know he was mad in the middle of the room. And now he's screaming at you on the phone.
Yep.
He didn't like what you said to him. So he took his phone and smashed it onto the ground, bounces off the floor and puts a hole in the wall in the Airbnb that's not in his name. Mm-hmm. And then makes this big scene and tries to involve everybody he can. And this is that he's trying to divide the rooms. And I will say that, and it's not just my opinion. I mean, it's factual that there are people who left with him that day and stood by his side. And I see some of you in here, and clearly you're not standing by his side anymore, but there are some of them that still do. And it's because they're equally as fucked up. Quite frankly. There's a squad of them. there's an entire group. Anyways, he never paid for any of the damage. He didn't apologize the right way. He went on to tell people stories that just weren't fucking true.
So I got a picture of that hole in the wall.
Yeah, I'm sure that several people do. Yeah.
But what did I'm like, because I didn't know what was going on.
I'm sure he told you a different story.
He completely told me a different story. And the person that sent me the picture said, I'll take care of it, because I wasn't there. I didn't know what was going on. I'm hearing one side of things. And I'm like, just make it stop. Make it stop.
Yeah. Yeah, and so he left that night. He ended up not emceeing the concert. He didn't show up. What did happen that night, which made everything a lot worse, is, and he tells everyone I made this up, except there are people in this chat who were there. This isn't just my words, and if they want to, they can speak up. There was a woman crying outside of the venue, just sobbing. And I know that the story I'm about to tell you, these things unfortunately happen on this app, but it's how we react and how we treat these situations that matters as creators or influencers or whatever the fuck you want to call yourself. There's a woman sobbing outside of the venue, and she claims that Hockey Golf Dad and his buddy are scam artists, and she's afraid of them. And she's given all this money, and she's done all these things, and she's just sobbing. She came all the way from Florida to meet them there at this concert. Which, how did she have all these details if she didn't talk to them? You know what I mean? Like, because this concert wasn't in downtown Nashville. This was out in the sticks. You know what I mean?
It's out in like a vineyard.
Yes, it was. So she had the details that needed to go, that she would have needed to get from one of them in order to know where to be. I brought it to their attention, basically saying, hey, you guys, you scam these people, you're pieces of shit, blah, blah, blah. And then there was an all-out assault on me from January until, I mean, it still happens daily on TikTok. I mean, because of the situation that I was in, he's made phone calls, and I have them. I have the phone calls. I have the paperwork. I have the emails to government officials in the state of Wisconsin to try to take me away from my family, to try to put me in jail, to try to get me to not be able to travel, to get me to not be able to perform. He has spent, it has to be months of his time trying to ruin my life since January. And I get if you don't like another man, I don't like him either. But I also, until you came forward, didn't want to do anything, because there is that part of me and people reached out to me. Big creators reached out to me and said, hey, he wants to talk to you. He wants to work things out. He's trying to change. He's trying to do that. And because I truly want people, I want that for people. I was damn near, almost probably about 3 weeks ago, and I told you this on the phone, I was almost ready to call him and be like, hey, man, I know you're going through hell right now. I can see it. You're in a really fucking dark, ugly place. Just so you know, you got no heat coming from me. I hope you get better. You know what I mean? It was kind of like I was ready to just let it all go. But this man is not letting anything go. He goes out of his way, and this is personal experience, this is not opinions. He goes out of his way to ruin people's lives off of this app. When he shuts this app off, unlike the rest of us, it's not over for him. He lives this, he breathes this, he does this in his sleep, and he wants to destroy people. He wants to hurt people. He wants them to be financially hurt, physically hurt, all sorts of, I mean, in any way he can hurt somebody, he wants to hurt people. He is truly, truly a terrible, disgusting human being. Like he is a dangerous person. And that's just from facts. That's not an opinion. It's facts. And there are no limits. There are no boundaries. He will hurt people. He will destroy people.
So and I know that you guys have been going through this for a long time, and I've talked to you brief times on the phone, over the past couple of weeks, but I think it just lends some credibility to what has been going on behind the scenes in my life for the past, since I walked out. And it's again, guys, these are facts. These are not things that we're making up. It's facts. And again, I wasn't in Nashville, but there's plenty of people that were in here. But I took the wrath of Nashville.
I know you did, and that's
and I took that being supportive. I didn't know what was going on because, frankly, I was working or I was taking a goddamn nap and woke up to a rage and then being blocked. And then, there were other things that happened in Nashville that we'll talk about later this week with somebody else. But I mean, that was a bad trip. All the
These people in the chat who say I heard him yelling at you, facts. These are and Jen, I don't even know if you know, but these are people who were there. They're not just saying that. There is people. I mean, these people were in the room. I had conversations with him where I asked him. It was one of the other blowouts that we had with each other. Is I said to him, I said, "What?" And this is the true story, and this is part of where I almost just like laid off. I was like, you know what, dude, I don't want anybody to ever do anything bad. Like, I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody. I really don't. I asked him, I said, what do you do when you're not on TikTok? And this was over Platinum El Toro was making breakfast, and I don't want to involve him other than that he was cooking links, and I have zero issues with him at all. And the issues this caused with all of us is so stupid, and I hate it, honestly. First, because there are certain people who I liked very much that were around that weekend that I've never talked to since, and I still don't have any hard feelings. He was cooking breakfast, and I asked him, like, what are you gonna do when TikTok goes away? What do you do off of TikTok? And he said, no, he's like, nothing. TikTok is my life. And I said, well, what about like hanging out with your buddies, your friends? Like, is there something you do off of TikTok, like to de-stress from TikTok? And he's so absorbed by this. He told me no. He said, no, there's nothing off of this app that matters. This is it, period. And I kind of was like, nah, maybe he's just exaggerating. But and then I said that, I jokingly said, you probably would not be around anymore if something ever happened to this app and it disappeared and it was gone. And he admitted out loud, he said, yep, that's exactly what I do. TikTok it's his world, it's everything. So you guys, this is all he knows. This is all he knows. He's addicted to this. His addictive nature, he is addicted to this app. I think that everyone should do what they want to do. I mean, everyone has their own opinion, is entitled to do whatever you want. I will not share a screen with him. I'll tell you that moving forward as a creator. Now that was a personal experience, and now I'm going to say where I feel my obligation as a creator is to do. Not share a screen with him. Not share a screen with other people who share a screen with him, because it's not worth the money to me. I have a job. I'm a musician. You can look me up anywhere you want. This isn't a sales pitch. I have a fucking job. TikTok helps, yes, but it is not worth selling my soul to help somebody who should not be getting the help that he's getting from people on this app. And I've said it before about other creators, and I'm saying it right here, right now. I will not ever share a screen with him or help him financially gain in any way, ever. And so if in 10 years from now, I knew that he spent some time behind bars and got some serious counseling, if he ever reached out and apologized, he'd be like, you know what, man, water under the bridge, but we're never talking again. You know what I mean? But the thing is, this is going on right now. This is not okay. Somebody has to stop it. You're not safe. You're not okay. You're upset. We've talked on the phone. You're scared. You're nervous. And I know these people are all so proud of how strong you're being, but I've had these conversations with you, and I know that you're nervous. I know that you're scared. I know that this is a really brave move. I've seen another female creator go up against a major creator that, they had a breakup. In fact, I've seen two. I'm friends with a lot of the people involved in those situations. It is really hard. There is backlash. There is hate. And you don't deserve any of it. You're this person who has a career and a job and things off of this app. This is not your life. This is not your livelihood. You're a person who had fun watching it, from what you and I have talked about in the past. You had a blast making the funny videos, had fun watching it. And all of a sudden there was a camera in your face all day, every day, and you didn't ask for it. So this is not easy for you, and you do need these people's support. And I'm glad to see everybody in here. And you guys, if you're taking this lightly, I'm going to tell you from my experience, I have to go to counseling. I've been arrested for domestic violence. I've been charged with stalking. I have been in these ugly relationships. I have some serious mental issues because of things I've gone through in life. I had to get help. I was not okay the next day. I was not okay the next month. I was not okay even the next year. It has taken years. So when he signs on here and tells you he's better because he's in counseling, it is a lie. Do not believe it. That in itself is narcissism. It's wrong. And it takes years. He's going to need years and years of therapy and help. And I will be in counseling and therapy the rest of my life to try to be a better person because I've fucked up so much. So you guys, don't believe somebody who tells you, I'm better now. I went to counseling 3 or 4 times. Or I was diagnosed with this, we're good.
Right.
You guys, stop falling for the shit. It's shit. It's bullshit and it's lies. And this woman right here is not safe until this man is put somewhere to get help, quite frankly. And that needs to be the next step. He needs to be held accountable. And that's where I stand on it all. And I hopefully it didn't, blow too much out there, but that's where I stand on it.
I think it's good because, like the first night, and I know that you were watching, this statement here that he wrote for the courts of saying, I'm been diagnosed with this, I'm doing this, and it's bullshit. That was a couple of days worth of stuff. And like Anthony said, it's, this isn't easy to be able to come out here and do this. It's not easy at all. And it's not easy for Anthony to talk about it either, but it's the facts, it's the truth. And all we're trying to do is, I saw a comment, and I'm sorry, I can't read the comments. They're going quickly. I saw a comment that says, this isn't the place to do it. It is. It is 100% the place to do it.
This is the only place to do it with somebody like him. You're right. This is where you have to do it.
Have to. So, Anthony, I appreciate you being honest and open.
Yeah,
and willing to talk. And I hope everybody listened because, throughout the day, I get messages, I see things, and it was a sad story today. And it was, poor me. Why is somebody hating on me? She should just get over it. Guys, it's there. It's in front of you. He needs serious professional help.
And you guys, it's unfortunately far too often that needs to be court ordered. And people can get better. And this is where I have to be the advocate for what I am an advocate for, men's mental health. But I'm also an older brother to 3 younger sisters. I have a daughter. I wouldn't want any of them to be with a guy like I was or like Dan is. And I'd be the first person to tell him that he probably hasn't changed. He's probably not going to change anytime soon. And it's not your job to fix him. So any women who are listening to this out there, I've made a point of speaking on this as often as I can. You need to get away from guys like this. You need to stay away from guys like who I was. You need to stay away from guys like who he is. You cannot fix them. It is not your fault. You need to go. You need to call the police. You need to get them to escort you into that house. You need to get your shit and you need to get out. Because it is not going to get better.
You know, I never thought in my life that I would ever be in a situation like this. But you know what? It's the people that I have now. It's incredible. I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot to even just be able to, the words, I'm having a tough time just coming up with the words because it's raw. It's every day. It's up to the minute before, you come on screen with me. It's there every moment of my life now, and it will never go away. This is scarred. This is burned into and ingrained into who I am now. And there was, I got a message today, from a friend, and it says, you can't, something along the lines of, you can't always pick the cards that you're dealt, but boy, you better play the shit out of those cards. And that really hit hard.
Somebody in here just said, I hope he never put his hands on you. And I just want to address that. One, I don't know if he did, but two, if you do not know the trauma that our brains and our bodies go through as human beings from when you are dealing with a narcissist, a true narcissist, when you are dealing with narcissism, what they do is they cause brain damage in their victims.
You sent me that video.
This is very real, and it's something don't be afraid to say it out loud. It is violence. It's domestic violence. It's abuse. It causes brain damage, and it is terrible. It's terrible. And there are, I know this too. And like I said, I'm not here to tell my story, but the pain of those words and the ugly things said stick with you for a lifetime, long after scars heal and bruises fade away. Those words that cut you down and belittled you, and the gaslighting and the control wheel, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, look all this stuff up. Especially ladies out there, look this stuff up. This is real, and it is. You need to be aware of it, and you need to stay away from it. Domestic abuse and domestic violence is so much more than being hit.
Mm-hmm. That's the truth. That is the truth. God, there's a lot of comments.
I know I can't keep up with them all. I know that I love that these people are here to support you, though. I think this is great. This is a good thing. This is, if nothing else, you're not alone. And if you stand up, I will tell you right now, I see, and I don't care who hates me on this app. I really don't. But I see Shannon here. I've talked to Aaron, another ex of a big creator. You guys, I'm going to say this right now, and I mean this, and I don't care if every creator unfollows me. None of these clowns are famous people. None of them. Nobody from TikTok is a famous person. Nobody, they're not a celebrity. They're not, unless they were outside of the app first and came here. If they do something in music or actor or anything, nobody came onto TikTok and became a celebrity magically because people followed them and liked their videos every once in a while.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Most people I talk to don't even know what TikTok is.
Yeah, it's still not even the #1 app.
They don't.
So you guys, these people, that man walked around, and again, this is facts. It's not opinions. I'm in Nashville to perform. I've performed some of the most famous honky tonks in the world. You know what I mean? Whether it was the 10 o'clock in the morning show or not, doesn't matter. I was invited. I've played them. That's my home away from home. This man came to that town and demanded people know who he was. Demanded that people move things around for him or be out of his way, or that he was just in charge of every situation and asking bouncers, like, can you get this done for me? Or I'm a TikTok legend. I'm a legend. I need you to do this for me. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. It was insane. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Eating gummies on the streets, yeah, because he fiend for those. He would go and find them. It's just, I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Yep. It's crazy. Well, thanks for coming on and sharing. It's just another person that can validate some of the things that I've said, that had firsthand experience and can speak the truth. And Anthony has nothing to gain from doing this. He's actually got a lot to lose.
Got a lot to lose. I almost came in on my backup and was like, dude, I'm not going in there on my main account.
I know. Everybody that I've reached out to is like, oh gosh, I don't know if I want to do this. But
this is, if I don't use the platform for good, what do I even have it for, honestly?
it's important to do. So thank you for being the first one to come.
I'm in your corner, and you have my number, and I'm always a phone call away.
I know you are. Thank you. And everybody in here, thank you guys so much. There's a lot of support. There's people that are not supporting. I'm getting text messages, and so be it.
I'm sure that, because, yeah. Sorry if anyone's mad at you because I was on the screen. I know that there are certain people who just aren't big fans of me either, and that is okay. I am not everybody's flavor. I get that. I get that.
Most of the time I prefer not to be somebody's flavor.
Yeah, it doesn't
you
matter.
know me, where I'm like, oh, back off. But this is exactly the place to speak like this. This is where it needs to be done. It's not helping doing it elsewhere. This is where it needs to be done. So,
yeah.
All
right, sweetheart. Awesome. I'm gonna let you do your thing. I'll be in your chat.
Oh, well, I'm over my time, so short and sweet.
My time. All right. We'll see you soon, okay?
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. So thank you guys so much. Yeah, we are over on our time tonight, but I thought it was important to bring somebody in that had first-hand experience that you guys heard a lot about that, because Dan brought that to this audience, to this app. So, and again, like I said, Anthony and I, we've had our issues, but I appreciate him coming on here and talking about it and being honest about it. So that's it for tonight. We're going to have somebody else in here tomorrow night. We've got somebody lined up throughout the week, and I hope you guys come back and listen, because this is where the work needs to be done to get him, hopefully, the help that he needs. And I'm telling you, it is professional inpatient care. So appreciate all of you, and we will check you guys out tomorrow night. Love you.